Before the storm arrives, the Abbey remembers every soul that burned within these walls.
No prayer enters this place without first passing through iron, ash, and absolute silence. The brothers do not move, because fear travels faster than any command spoken aloud. With ash upon the floor, the old circle is drawn, and the past is invited to return. The body remains silent, as though death itself has not yet finished speaking through it. Even now, the air grows heavy, as if something unseen has begun to press against our world. Lay the ash upon his chest, and let the forgotten name find its way back. Above us, the iron listens, and it does not forget what was once contained here. The bell has not moved, yet something within it has already begun to answer. Raise your hand slowly, for the ash no longer follows command, but intention. Kneel and remain still, for the circle has begun to breathe in ways we cannot control. Speak each word with care, because the dead remember every mistake we dare to make. The air itself begins to gather, as if memory has found a way to take form. My hand rests upon him, yet what answers from within is not the man we placed here. The air bends around us now, and even the ash refuses to follow the laws we trusted. Look carefully through the drifting ash, and you will see what should never take shape. The mouth begins to move, yet no human voice dares to follow from within. Hold your ground, because the center is pulling more than ash into its grasp. Do not mistake open eyes for life. Even the shadows begin to resist their owners when the ash starts to remember them. A hand of dust reaches outward, searching for warmth it has long forgotten. The circle is no longer holding, and the room has begun to forget its boundaries. Now we understand the mistake, because what we summoned was never meant to return. Then give it blood, because ash alone is no longer enough to hold what we have awakened. Let every brother follow, because obedience is the last order we still control. The ash changes its nature now, as though hunger has finally found something it can consume. Do not hesitate now, because the moment you doubt, the circle will choose for you. He has already been chosen, and now the ash will take what hesitation has offered. Do not reach for him now, because the right has already claimed what fear has surrendered. Watch closely, because the ash does not take the body first, but everything hidden beneath it. The Abbey trembles with us, as though these walls were built to remember this exact moment. Hold your breath, because the form you see is no longer bound by flesh or memory. Bring the iron mask, because only iron has ever held what should not be allowed to exist. The iron begins to fail, because what we tried to bind was never meant to be contained. Step back now, because the body you see no longer belongs to any living man.
Bodies fall quickly when the room itself forgets who is still meant to survive.
There is only one act left now, and it will demand more than faith to complete. Then let this be the final offering, because nothing else remains that can hold it back.
From blood and ash, something begins to take form where no living shape should ever stand.
It cannot hold one shape, because too many memories are trying to exist at once. Within the ash, we see. It does not live, yet it knows, because memory alone is enough to awaken intention.
It begins to understand the space around it, as if the Abbey itself has become part of its body.
The corridors carry it now, because distance no longer separates what it can remember. The mind begins to falter, because what is seen no longer agrees with what should exist.
It studies the living carefully, as though learning how to wear what it has taken. It no longer struggles to exist, because now it chooses how to remain. It does not need to walk, because movement now belongs to the space it controls.
He tries to flee, but the Abbey has already decided where he is allowed to exist.
The ash covers his face gently, as if granting him a final form before removing it.
The body does not fall apart in violence, but releases itself as though it was never whole.
Begin the consciousness. We speak. Fragments taken.
The sound becomes clearer now, because it has begun to understand how memory turns into meaning.
It turns inward for the first time, because something within it has begun to recognize itself.
Do not look away now, because it is learning from every moment it is allowed to remain. Even time feels altered here, because nothing moves unless it permits it to. This is the first true moment of its existence, because now it knows that it is here.
It begins to reach outward, because what exists will always seek to become more than where it was formed.
The threshold holds for now, because iron remembers what it was built to prevent.
Structure awakens slowly, as though the Abbey itself still carries its original purpose. It resists the walls now, because even memory refuses to be confined once it becomes aware.
This place was never a sanctuary, because it was built to hold what should never escape. The Abbey awakens completely now, because it was never built to worship, but to imprison what endures.
It resists with everything it has gathered, because memory refuses to accept an ending it cannot forget.
The walls close in not with force alone, but with purpose older than any living memory.
Now its true nature is revealed, because what remains is not a being, but what refuses to disappear.
It fights not to live, but to continue, because it has never understood how to end. Strike the bell now, because iron must declare what memory refuses to accept. Seal every threshold, before even a single grain remembers how to leave.
From the outside, nothing remains, because silence has been restored to its proper place. But still, something lingers, because what was held inside was never meant to vanish completely.